Title: Poor single father took a night job no one wanted. By morning, the CEO billionaire was at his door. It was past midnight when the building went quiet, the kind of silence that makes your thoughts louder than your footsteps. Everyone else had gone home to warm beds and families waiting. But one man stayed behind, gripping a mop with tired hands, praying this job would be enough to keep the lights on for one more month. He had no idea that before the sun came up, a knock on his front door would change his life forever. Before we begin, take a moment to subscribe, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments. You're watching Kindness Diaries, where real human stories remind us that compassion can change lives in ways we never expect. Jacob Miller was a single father living in a small apartment on the edge of town. His wife had passed away 2 years earlier after a sudden illness, leaving him alone with their 6-year-old daughter, Lily. Every decision he made now was for her. Every dollar mattered. Every sacrifice was quiet and unseen. Jacob worked construction during the day when work was available, but winter had slowed everything down. Bills piled up fast. Rent, groceries, school supplies. One evening, after Lily fell asleep on the couch with her homework still in her lap, Jacob opened his laptop and searched for anything, any job, that could help. That's when he saw it. Overnight cleaning position. 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. corporate building. Immediate start. Low pay. No one wanted it. The hours were brutal. The work was exhausting. But Jacob didn't hesitate. He applied, got a call the next day, and started that very night. The building was massive, glass walls, marble floors, and offices that looked more expensive than anything Jacob had ever owned. Most nights, the place felt cold and empty. Just the hum of lights and the echo of his footsteps as he cleaned floors no one would walk on until morning. On his third night, something unusual happened. As Jacob was wiping down a conference room table, he noticed a man slumped in a chair at the far end of the room. He was wearing an expensive suit, his tie loosened, his face pale with exhaustion. Papers were scattered everywhere. A laptop screen glowed with unread emails. The man looked up, startled. "Oh, sorry. I didn't know anyone was here." Jacob smiled gently. "You're fine, sir. I can come back later." The man shook his head. "No, it's okay. Long night." Jacob nodded. He understood long nights better than anyone. As he finished cleaning, Jacob noticed the man rubbing his chest and wincing slightly. Something didn't feel right. Jacob hesitated. He didn't want to intrude. But kindness pushed him forward. "Sir," Jacob said quietly, "I don't mean to pry, but you don't look too good." "You okay?" The man sighed. "Just stress. Haven't eaten since yesterday." Without thinking, Jacob reached into his backpack and pulled out a small container. "I pack extra dinner for my daughter. She didn't eat much tonight. You can have this." The man stared at the container, surprised. "You don't have to do that." "I know," Jacob said. "But you look like you need it." The man accepted it, his eyes softening. "Thank you. That's very kind." They talked for a few minutes. Nothing fancy. Just two tired men sharing a quiet moment in an empty building. Jacob never asked who he was. He didn't need to. When Jacob left that morning, he thought nothing of it. Just another shift. Another small act of kindness in a world that rarely noticed. The next morning, after dropping Lily off at school, Jacob returned home and collapsed onto the couch. He had barely closed his eyes when a knock echoed through the apartment. Confused, he opened the door. Standing there was the same man from the office, but this time, he wasn't alone. Two assistants stood behind him. A black luxury car waited at the curb. "Mr. Miller?" the man asked. "Yes," Jacob said, his heart racing. The man smiled. "My name is Daniel Cross. I'm the CEO of Kindness Industries. And last night, you reminded me what being human feels like." Jacob froze. Cross-stitch was everywhere. Phones. Software. Buildings. Daniel Cross was a billionaire. Daniel explained that he had been on the edge of burnout. Lawsuits, pressure, decisions that affected thousands of lives. He hadn't slept in days. That simple meal, that simple kindness, had grounded him in a way nothing else had. You gave without knowing who I was, Daniel said. That matters. He handed Jacob an envelope. Inside was a check, enough to cover Jacob's rent for a year. But Daniel wasn't done. I also reviewed your employment file, he continued. You're reliable. You care. I want to offer you a full-time position with benefits. Day hours. And flexibility for your daughter. Tears filled Jacob's eyes. He tried to speak, but no words came out. Weeks later, Jacob no longer worked nights. He walked Lily to school every morning. He cooked dinner without watching the clock. Life wasn't perfect, but it was stable. And that meant everything. One small act of kindness, given freely, had changed 2 lives. Because kindness doesn't ask for recognition. It doesn't wait for the right person or the right moment. It simply shows up. And sometimes, when you give from the heart, the world gives back in ways you never imagined. So wherever you are today, remember this: your kindness matters. Even when no one is watching. Especially then. Thank you for watching Kindness Diaries. If this story touched you, share it with someone who needs hope, and go out there and spread a little kindness of your own.